Welcome students for haloalkanes and haloarenes part 4th. In this video we shall study about order of reactivity, stereochemical aspect, molecular symmetry, molecular asymmetry, inversion, retention and racemization. Let's continue student. In the previous video already you have studied about SN1 and SN2 reactions. In case of SN1 reaction student, the formation of the carbocation is there. The allylic and benzylic halides show the higher reactivity towards SN1 reaction students, and the reason for this is within first step the formation of the carbocation, which is a slow step and also called as rate determining step. And students, this carbocation is more stable due to the resonance. Let's observe an example. In case of allylic group student, that is CH2 double bond CH single bond CH2 with a positive charge, carbocation. The delocalization of the pi electrons can easily happen so as to reduce the positive charge of the carbon atom. Thus, we get the resonating structure of the allylic group. If we consider benzyl carbocation, in this case students, pi electrons from the benzene ring is delocalized towards the carbocation so as to reduce the positive charge. Thus, we get the resonating structure for benzylic carbocation. In this way student, the first step in the SN1 reaction, formation of the carbocation, it is a more stable due to the resonance. Note second, in both SN1 and SN2 reactions, the reactivity of halides follows the order alkyl iodide is more reactive student compared to alkyl bromide, followed by alkyl chloride and least reactive for alkyl fluoride. Now let's study about stereochemical aspect of nucleophilic substitution reactions. In this student, ordinary light is passed through the nickel prism, which makes the ordinary light into plane polarized light, that is, all the vibration of the particles, it would be only in one of the plane. And next student, this plane polarized light is passed through a solution of optically active compound. So we are preparing the solution of optically active compound and allowing this plane polarized light to pass through the optically active compound. Then student, we can observe the plane polarized light can be rotated in the clockwise direction or else in an anti-clockwise direction. Thus, we can conclude that the molecules which can rotate the plane polarized light are known as optically active compounds. Either they rotate the plane polarized light towards the right side, that is the clockwise, or left side anti-clockwise rotation, they are said to be optically active compounds. Now students, if the plane polarized light has been rotated towards the right side, then that molecule is said to be dextrorotatory in nature. Whereas if the plane polarized light is rotated towards the left side, then it would be called as levorotatory in nature. Thus, student, we can conclude that the compounds which rotate the plane polarized light towards the right side, that is the clockwise direction, is said to be dextrorotatory, and it can be written as D compounds or dextrorotatory compounds. And always for dextrorotatory compounds we are giving the symbol as positive. And the next one, the compounds which rotate the plane polarized light towards left side, that is anti-clockwise direction, then such compounds are said to be levorotatory compounds, and we can use the symbol as L for levorotatory. Or else, student, even we can write sign as minus. If the compound is dextrorotatory, then we are placing the sign as the positive, and if the compound is levorotatory, it is said to be minus. Let us consider one example for this, student. D-lactic acid, that is dextrorotatory lactic acid. This lactic acid, student, rotates the plane polarized light towards the right side and hence called as D-lactic acid, or else we can write it as positive lactic acid also. And the second one, student, it is L-lactic acid, means levorotatory. It rotates the plane polarized light towards the left side or else anti-clockwise. So it is called as L-lactic acid, levorotatory lactic acid. Or you can give the sign as minus lactic acid. Now, students, let us study about optical isomerism. When two or more compounds having the same molecular formula and structural formula but differ in the direction of rotation of a plane polarized light are called as optical isomers, and this phenomenon is called as optical isomerism. Just now, student, we have studied about an example of the lactic acid. So the lactic acid, student, isomers, it can be D-lactic acid or else L-lactic acid. That is, it can rotate either the plane polarized light towards the right side or towards the left side. And hence, lactic acid is a good example of which isomers? Optical isomers. Next, student, an important note. The magnitude and direction of rotation of a plane polarized light are measured by an instrument called as polarimeter. Remember, for 1 marks question, the instrument name as the polarimeter. Next, students, we can continue with molecular asymmetry, chirality and enantiomers. By drawing an imaginary line of the molecule can be cut into two identical halves by a plane, then it is called a symmetrical molecule, and this plane is called as plane of symmetry. Whereas, student, the molecule that does not have a plane of symmetry is called as asymmetric molecule. Try to understand the concept, students. If a molecule has been given to you and if you are able to divide that molecule into two identical halves by placing a plane, then that particular plane which is dividing the molecule into two equal halves would be called as plane of symmetry, and that molecule would be said to symmetrical molecule. Whereas student, if the molecule does not have such a kind of plane of symmetry which is dividing the molecule into two equal halves, then that molecule can be called as asymmetric molecule. Now students, let us consider chirality. Definition: the molecules which are not superimposable on its mirror image are called as chiral molecule. Students, if the mirror image of one molecule is not superimposable on the same molecule, then such a molecule can be called as chiral molecule. If it is superimposable, then such a molecule can be called as achiral molecule. Let us understand this concept along with some of examples. The first example of left palm and left foot. If you place it in front of mirror, student, then we get mirror image of both. Then whether the mirror image of the left palm, it can be superimposed on the original one, which is not possible. And the same thing you can even observe with the foot. The mirror image of our left foot, student, which is obtained on the right side. So this you can't place on the original foot. That is, they are not superimposable on one another. Thus, it forms a chiral object. When the mirror images are not superimposable on one another, then it would be called as chiral objects. Then student, let us consider achiral objects. Now, if you take conical flask which is filled with solution, whereas one spherical ball, and both of them, if you place it in front of the mirror, then obviously you will get the mirror images of both the objects, student. But in this case, definitely you can place the mirror image of the conical flask on the original one without any kind of the changes. Thus, it is superimposable, and the same is true in the case of spherical ball. You can place the mirror image of the spherical ball on the original one, so both are exactly the same. Thus, student, in this case, it forms a chiral object, or in other words, they are superimposable mirror images. The property of non-superimposability of a substance on its mirror image is called as chirality. Whereas the molecule which are superimposable on their mirror images are called as achiral molecule. For example, 1-bromo-1-chloroethane molecule, students, it forms a non-superimposable mirror images, and thus it exhibits the chirality. Let's continue, student, with some more examples. Alphabet P, the mirror image of this would be Q. Alphabet P is a chiral because it forms a non-superimposable mirror images. Thus, student, alphabet P is a chiral because it is not superimposable on its mirror image. Next example, the alphabet A, the mirror image of it is also the same, so it is a achiral and mirror image is superimposable. Thus, student, we can conclude that alphabet A is a chiral because it can be superimposed on its mirror image. Next, student, the molecule which has been given is a propane 2-ol. The mirror image of the molecule A, which is structure B. If we compare the structure A and structure B of propane to all student, then structure A is not superimposable on its mirror image. Next student, from structure B, we can obtain structure C by placing a mirror or by rotating the structure B by 180 degree. Then we get the molecule structure C. Thus, we can conclude that structure C is obtained by rotating structure B by 180 degree. Further, structure C is superimposable on its mirror image structure A. Thus, student, we can conclude that it is clear that A and C structures of propane to all molecule are superimposable mirror images, and hence propane to all is an achiral molecule. Now students, let us consider one more example of butane to all. Let us first consider structure as D and the mirror image of structure D, students. We get structure E. Later, if we place a mirror or if we rotate the molecule by 180 degree, then we get one more structure as F. Now students, if you compare between all these three, then structure F can be obtained by rotating structure E by 180 degree, whereas structure F is non-superimposable on structure D. Thus, we can conclude now as structure D and F are mirror images, but they are non-superimposable on one another, and hence butane to all is a chiral molecule. Now students, let us study more about chiral or asymmetric carbon atom. The carbon which is bonded to 4 different atoms or groups is called as a chiral or asymmetric carbon atom. In general, it is represented by letter C and star, which denotes asymmetric carbon or chiral carbon. And students, the chiral carbon is also called as stereogenic center or stereo center. Let's continue with enantiomers. Optical isomers, which are non-superimposable mirror images of each other, are called as enantiomers, and this phenomenon is called as enantiomerism. Let us consider an example of dextrorotatory lactic acid and levorotatory lactic acid. Structure student CH3, CHOH, COOH. So it is lactic acid. The positive lactic acid is nothing but dextrorotatory lactic acid. If you place a mirror in front of plus lactic acid, then you get minus lactic acid. Mirror image. Now student, both these are non-superimposable isomers, and thus it forms an enantiomer, and the phenomenon of this is called as enantiomerism. Thus student, positive lactic acid and negative lactic acid, they form the enantiomers, and the reason behind it is they form a non-superimposable mirror images. Now students, let us consider racemic mixture. The equimolar mixture of enantiomers, that is equal amounts of both dextrorotatory and levorotatory isomers, is called as racemic mixture. So any given mixture, student, which is having both equal amount of dextrorotatory and levorotatory isomers, then such a mixture is called as racemic mixture. Generally, it is represented as DL or with both the symbols positive, negative. Example, student, plus minus butane 2-ol. It is a racemic mixture which is having equimolar concentration of both D and L isomers. Now students, let us consider retention of configuration. In this case, the preservation of the spatial arrangement of bonds at an asymmetric center during any chemical reaction occurs. Let us understand this by an example. Students, when a molecule is present which is having all the 4 different substituents or groups, then the center carbon atom is a chiral carbon atom. In this case, student, if the addition of one more substituent Y has been done by displacing or removing the X substituent, then we get the product with Y substituent. In this case, student, there is retention of configuration because the relative configuration of the atoms B, C and A is same both in the reactants as well as in the products. Thus, this is an example for retention of configuration. Now students, let us consider an example for retention of the configuration. The reaction that takes place when minus 2-methyl butane 1-ol is heated with concentrated HCl. So students, let us have the reaction. The molecule name, student, as it has been told to you, it is minus. Why? Because it is a levorotatory. Rotates the plane polarized light towards the left side. Thus, levorotatory or minus sign we can use. Minus 2-methyl butane 1-ol. This molecule, student, is reacted with HCl, and on heating the removal of water molecule occurs. That is hydrogen from HCl and OH group from the reactant. As a result, removal of a water molecule, whereas Cl would be combining with CH2. Thus, we get the product, student, as positive 1-chloro-2-methyl butane molecule with elimination of water molecule. Now students, let us consider inversion, retention and racemization. There are 3 outcomes of a reaction at an asymmetric carbon atom. First, consider the replacement of a group X by Y in the following reaction. When a molecule is having X as a substituent, student, it has been replaced by Y substituent. Then we can have the structure A. In the same way, student, when X has been replaced with Y, it can also give the structure B. Then student, in third case, you can substitute X with the Y to get both AB, that is a racemic mixture. Thus student, we can conclude that if we substitute X substituent from the given compound by Y, if the retention of the configuration is done, then we are getting the product as A. If inversion of the configuration is happening, then we are getting the structure B. And if student both retention and inversion is occurring, then we get a racemic mixture, that is the process is racemization. Now students, let us consider some important note. If A is the only compound obtained, the process is called as retention of configuration. And if student only B is obtained, then the process would be called as inversion of configuration. And the third case student, if equal amounts of both A and B are formed, then the process would be called as racemization. We are obtaining a racemic mixture and the resulting product is optically inactive. Thus student, in case of distereomers, stereoisomers which are not mirror images of each other are called as distereomers. Example, 2,3-dichloropentane molecule. In this case student, they are stereoisomers but not the mirror images of each other. Then in such case, it is said to be distereomers. Thank you students. In next video, we shall study about stereochemical aspects of SN2 reaction and even difference between SN1 and SN2 reactions. Thank you.